AquariumDomain YouTube channel, Episode 1, a YouTube channel reborn. How does a channel on YouTube that's been around since 2009, how's it having Episode 1 in 2020? Why am I sitting in this staircase in the basement? Let me tell you. So, AquariumDomain, the website, has been around since '99, and all the way to this day, and it's on its 4th gen. And the YouTube channel just supported the website. It just had some embedded videos. And I had always intended on making more, full-featured videos, proper videos, but I was going to keep building a new tank and building a new fish room, etc., but with life and work and moving, it never happened. So the reason I'm in this staircase is because I finally have a fish room that has turned into a fish basement. So let me take you down there and show you what I'm talking about. So good things do come to those that wait, and when it takes 8 years to build your fish room and you can't build it and things change and you get the opportunity to build a fish basement, sometimes the thing you have to wait for ends up being better than what you were originally trying to do. So this is the AquariumDomain fish basement gallery, and there is more down there. It is saltwater and freshwater, just like the AquariumDomain website. Which, let me take you over here real quick. This is where I work on the AquariumDomain videos and the AquariumDomain website. And these are the tanks. This is the 125-gallon Asian stream tank. All the species are Asian fish species. Some of the plants, as best that I could do. So what I do is I do videos on all the different progressions of the aquariums I have, as well as species videos and other ones as well. But so this aquarium here, from the ground up in the fish basement gallery, I have videos to show you how this was put together into its current state. We come around, we have another freshwater aquarium. This is the 220-gallon Amazon. It's a mix of community fish and cichlids. Cichlids like the electric blue cara, the red spotted severum, the blue angels, the redhead geotapajos, mixed with an assortment of tetras, Amazonian tetras, ruby-nosed tetras, plecos, cory cats, and plants. Again, this is another aquarium where videos all the way from the beginning, as I set this up, I'll be releasing. So for each tank you see in the gallery, there'll be a series of videos, a playlist for each tank that basically shows, the origins of the aquarium all the way up to its current state as of the release of this video. The next freshwater tank is obviously near and dear to my heart. This is a 3,000-gallon aquarium that I built. And you see the divider here, that's because there's a pole holding up the others upstairs of the house. This is one giant 22-foot long Amazon cichlid aquarium. Probably the easiest way to visualize it is to take you around back real quick and show you from the back of the tank. So as you can see, one continuous 22-foot long, they call it a plywood aquarium. There is a little plywood in it. It is made a lot of wood, but there's a lot more in it than wood, and certainly more than plywood. So beyond the fact that this is a 3,000-gallon aquarium, 22 feet long, 6 feet front to back, and 3 feet tall, part of what I think makes it interesting is that it's also fully planted. All the plants are live plants. All the wood is real wood. The sand is real sand, real rocks, etc. It's an ecosystem. It's a functioning ecosystem. It has a 22-foot long sump that's 2 feet wide and 2 feet tall. And it is also full of rock and sand and media. It's basically a living Amazon River sort of biotope-ish ecosystem. That's one thing I try to do with all my tanks, is I try to make them look as realistic as I can for the environments where they are supposed to be emulating, and functional. And so I want the system to help filter the tank, to maintain the water quality, to allow the fish to grow their biggest, look their best, be their best, be happy. So I put a lot of time into you know, maintaining the whole ecosystem, not just a box with fish in it. Okay, so that's the 3,000 gallon. Now we get to the saltwater side of the house. This is a 150 cube. As you can see, diatom algae everywhere. This is a new tank. This has only been running, well, the tank isn't new, but setup as saltwater is new. The tank has actually only been running as salt for about 4 weeks now. You know, it ran for 2 weeks cycling, 2 or 3 weeks cycling with bacteria and adding ammonia, and now it's still cycling in the sense that there's no ammonia, no nitrate, but obviously, as you can see, there is diatom algae everywhere, so it is not a fully dialed in tank. Plus you see all the white base rock. You see a couple rocks that I added from existing saltwater aquariums. You see the clownfish, but it is definitely in its beginning stages of being a future reef tank. And what's a little different about this reef tank than a lot you might see is that there's no protein skimmer. The only filtration is a 50-gallon refugium. The entire sump area has been turned into a refugium, which has got live sand, live rock, invertebrates, cleanup crew, 2 filter socks, and of course it's lit. And I will be adding a plethora of macroalgae once the aquarium's ready to feed them. So this tank is also, I will be, you know, taking you through the entire setup and the evolution of this tank as it progresses, and it has a long ways to go, as you can see. So that'll be a whole playlist on this aquarium as well. Obviously a lot to happen here. There's it's really at the beginning stages of its existence, so really exciting to bring something all the way up. This is my 265 gallon saltwater aquarium. Now this has been running for quite some time. This was actually the first tank that I set up when I started building out the fish basement. It is in a stage right now where it ran for about 8 years, and then I basically kind of let the stock dwindle down because I was working on so many other projects. But it does have fish. Of course, they're hiding a little bit right now. I've been adjusting the lights on this aquarium. I'll be putting out a video for that, but I just changed up the lights on it. I moved it from some black box LEDs to some Kessels, and I'm still ironing out the program for the controller for the Kessel. So they're getting completely different lighting than what they're used to getting at this time of day, as I'm sort of working through the program on that. But this is going to be a 265 gallon mixed reef with some little bit larger species. As you can see, there's a emperor angel in there, and so there's not, it's going to limit some of the, you know, coral species you can keep having large angels and fish like that, but there will be plenty of soft corals, and as you can see, there's a few right now. There's mushroom coral, toadstool mushroom, another small one here. So there's a few in there. But so this tank also has a lot of growth to do. And one thing that's interesting about this tank is, even though it's a 265 gallon aquarium, which is 7 feet long, 30 inches tall, and 2 feet front to back, it is plumbed into a 700 gallon sump. So as you can see, the 265 is on top of a 700 gallon sump with a decent size 5 foot tall protein skimmer. Now the reason this is sized like it is way more than that tank needs, but what I'm adding to the back here is a 600 gallon, another aquarium I'm building myself, a quote unquote plywood aquarium. But I'm building it the same method I built the 3,000 gallon aquarium. And as you can see, it's stacked lumber that is reinforced at all the corners and stacked up. And then there'll be a, you know, a whole frame in the front with a glass front. And then the inside will have a sheet of plywood, and then it'll be epoxied and fiberglassed, and then painted with 2-part epoxy paint. So this is going to be a 600 gallon aquarium, saltwater aquarium. And it's going to tie right into the same sump that is running the 265. So there'll be one shared pump, there'll be one shared protein skimmer, and then the sump for the 700 gallon, the rock that's in there right now that's functioning as a denitrification system, because it has bacteria growing on the rock and there's no light down there, so there's low levels of oxygen, so that's anaerobic bacteria, and that's eating the nitrate out of that system. What I'm going to be doing is using that rock to build up the reef in the 600 gallon. and I'm going to replace the anaerobic sump with a refugium, a lighted refugium with macroalgae and live rock, just like what's on the 150-gallon reef. And the 600-gallon saltwater tank is going to have much larger fish. It will have a few corals, but it'll be a fowler tank first, and then corals that I can fit in with those fish second. So expect some really big, interesting saltwater fish. It will be community saltwater, so no sharks or groupers, but there will be some very large community saltwater fish that will be going in there. Hopefully it'll be pretty interesting. It's also going to be taller than the average tank, so that's going to be interesting as well. All right, that's it for episode 1. Welcome to the fish gallery. There's going to be a lot more videos to come. Every tank here, everything in the fish room has a lot of work to go, a lot of room to improve, a lot of additions, whether it's plants or fish or invertebrates, a lot of things going on. So in addition to all the videos that showcase and detail the evolution of each one of these tanks, stay tuned for future videos as these tanks continue to progress and as I start putting out species profile videos. Anyone who's ever gone to the AquariumDomain.com website knows that there's a lot of species profile videos there, and that's something I've been doing for a long time. I think I alluded to at the beginning that the site started in '99, so I've built up quite a repository of species profiles there, as well as blog articles, aquarium calculators, and lots of other aquarium-related information. In addition, I will be putting out blogs detailing how I built the 3,000-gallon aquarium behind me, all the step-by-step. You'll get to see in those blogs and in those videos the state of the fish basement gallery at that time. The entire basement was gutted when I built this out. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, there's a lot of pictures and video of that whole process of making this get to this point. Okay, check back soon, and if you're interested in seeing everything I have here, please consider subscribing. And if you really like what you see here, please take a look at my Patreon page and see if it's something you'd like to support that way. All right, thanks. I look forward to seeing you guys soon.